Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the channel. David here with another cryptocurrency update. First off, I want to thank a few people: Marco74361, Sandy Ortiz, John Kane, XRP Warrior, Wet Northwest, Mr. JTX, Elvis, Daniel Schomer, Alvaro Goncalves, Lorna Howe or Howie, Benjamin Chambers, and Charlie G. A lot of new subscribers and a lot of new commenters here on this channel. Thank you guys very much. Just like I in the past have thought it was easy to call the bottom, and that as soon as I put some money into XRP or to Bitcoin or whatever it would be, it would almost feel like the reverse switch would happen. That my money would go in, or I would sell a little bit of XRP and move it into QuanStamp or TRON or Simple Token or Litecoin, and it would just instantly go down. Okay, if you're new to Bitcoin or cryptocurrency, you might not have experienced this as of yet, just the repetitive downs in this market, which some of these more hardened investors have already experienced some of these losses. You know, it's like, I think it was Digital Asset Investor said that if you can't handle the 90% losses, then you don't deserve the thousands of percent gains. Now, I love that statement. That's obviously implying that in the future, this technology will be adopted and utilized, and it will be cradled and grow back to, if not higher than where it was back in the bull run of January 2018 and the end of 2017. Okay. So it's like selling one asset to buy another, especially in a bear market, is a never-ending battle, okay? Once we make our purchases, we need to enforce our own internal fortitude and staying power, okay? Because what's happening is some of us, and at least I'm guilty of this more often than not, we would buy an asset, not really 100% convinced of the asset, or maybe just thinking that it was a profit play, or you know there's another one that you like more, but you're gonna just buy this, and you know, if you have to sell it at some point in the future, you will. That is not the right mentality. We need to get into the position where the bags that we're setting up are bags of concrete and steel, okay? Like real, not going anywhere type of bags. Because as we're in this bear market and everything's value is literally crushing out. Okay, if I was to tell you the three coins that I have in my portfolio, okay, it's TRON, QuanStamp, and XRP. Okay, now I've gone from having 25 or 30 different coins at one point to only having XRP. Okay, and it's gotten to the point where I've now made my little bit of excitement plays into what I'm going to call TRON and QuanStamp, both trading at a little bit over a penny right now. QuanStamp having seen a high of $1.20 is a large upside. And as a believer in the cryptocurrency space and the project itself, for me not to have some skin in the game in a project like QuanStamp that has that high of an upside, if and when this thing was to just turn back on, I would feel really like I was missing something. Now, yeah, XRP is a majority of the holding, and the TRON and the QuanStamp holding is very minimal. That's not what I'm saying, because it's almost like if there's $500 in QuanStamp and QuanStamp goes back up to $1.20, do you see what we're saying? You understand what we're talking about? We're talking about massive gains. Now, these are all in the hypotheticals that everything starts to work again, you know, and that it starts to click and turn back on, and some of these bottom feeders die off, and money starts to flow back into these top tier investments. I think that will be when it starts to happen. But yeah, we have to see a little bit of a cutoff from the bottom, right? Invest only in projects that you believe in, okay? Because if you buy a shitcoin or a project with no value or utility, the temptation to sell that coin after you buy it is so huge, okay? Because you'll then realize all the things you don't know about this project, okay? Only after you buy it only after you buy this crap coin or this nothing coin or whatever it is, then we look into it and say, okay, blah, blah, blah. The temptation to sell it after we buy it is so real. So try to stick to assets that you believe in, okay? Because at no point, literally at no point in this will you be able to call the bottom. And I've said this before. If you do call the bottom and you make a purchase, and as soon as you make that purchase, it literally starts to smoke back up, it was an accident and you got lucky. Okay? Chalk that up on the luck board. Even though if you believe in luck, good luck, that means you believe in bad luck. So I would suggest trying to take the believing in luck, both bad or good, out of your vernacular, out of your vocabulary, okay? Because that is something that just keeps you also circling the drain. We have to start to be convicted in the projects. Convicted. Yeah, I think that's the word. We have to have conviction when it comes to the way we discuss these projects, okay? And the one problem is that I see right now is that with how the infancy stages of this started, you cannot find a time where the charts are showing no downside, okay? Because when we started, XRP and Bitcoin and Litecoin, for all those matters, everything had a very low value, at least more the ones that were created in infancy, like Bitcoin and XRP. They were valued at, and a lot of these projects, TRON and Ethereum, everything's valuation was slammed to the floor in the infancy stages. So we have to remember that you can always pull up a long enough chart to scare you out of making a purchase, okay? Because you're not going to ever see a time when there's no farther bottom in sight. You're not going to look at one of these charts and say, oh yes, finally we've made it to the point where there's no more room to fall. There's always room to fall, okay? Just like there's room to fall, there is exponential room to grow, okay? No question, right? I honestly think, I mean, and I wrote this down here, it just means that this could mean it's time to take a stand, okay? Make our final push in and be bold, okay? Whatever that means to you, whether that means to sell some of the junk in your garage or to try and liquidate your stock account or whatever it is. Oh, that's cool. There's a FedEx guy behind me. This is just business. This is business happening that could utilize the technology that we're talking about here, okay? Understand that, really. Blockchain will connect all of these systems in such a harmonious way. I didn't plan on saying this, obviously. I didn't know this guy was going to pull up behind me, but just imagine. FedEx operates in multiple countries, just like UPS, just like DHL, just like Roadrunner, and just like the post office, for that matter. The United States Post Office has, I'm sure, partnerships with entities outside of this country, as they have to do shipping and receiving with packing houses in Europe or wherever, okay? That's you got to keep your eye on the ball here, because they're all transferring money. XRP is the king of this, really. And everybody's talking about, if you don't have any competitors, you don't have a real business. And that's kind of true. And XRP has competitors. And the funny thing is, XRP is the competitor. XRP is the competitor to Swift. Did you get that? That XRP was created specifically to answer the questions and the problems that this financial fiat-driven system go through every single day. 4% to 5% to 6% failure rate on your Swift transfers, 0% failure rate on your XRP transfers over its entire existence, okay? So if you really thought that you were invested into something in XRP that was not real, or something that doesn't have utility or technology, or that could be validated through business and through profits and losses, you are incorrect. XRP is such a money saver and a time saver only once it's utilized. That's for sure, okay? So, like we said, the true bottom is always very far away, because we don't know what the true bottom is. So, that can really make us hesitant to make a purchase. So if you believe in this currency, in this crypto space, get in. Not your financial advisor. It's really sad having to say that, but I'm not. I am my own financial advisor. And I'm the first one to watch these videos. You got to understand that. This advice that I'm speaking is more like, it's like an open diary or a journal, okay? And those at the top don't have any problems putting in some money and just watching it and not worrying about, not even watching it, okay? They don't have a problem with buying and holding. They know the bottom and they know the top. They know the profits and the losses a lot better than we do as far as dealing on larger checkbooks and balances, okay? Moving money from here to there, hiring employees, having a large staff, a full delivery company, okay? So if they can see the profits coming in the future, they're not going to have a problem just holding it until then, okay? So us at the bottom, we can't necessarily just keep buying and buying and buying and buying, and sometimes are forced to sell, okay? And herein lies the problem. The notes are done. Herein lies the problem, is that sometimes we're forced to sell. Our hand is grabbed and broken by the system, and some of us don't have the internal conviction to push through with this and to be as solidified in your beliefs in this system as we need to be investors in anything. You got to understand that. If you're investing in stocks or bonds or precious metals, well, this is a really active place. If you're invested in anything and you don't have the fortitude or the ability to push through something, this will not be an easy journey for you. Investing is not necessarily the thing for you, okay? Because the investors in 1993 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7, and the investors in real estate in 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, those are the people that had the guts. And those that executed their plans before all of those systems exploded, they didn't have white papers. They didn't necessarily have full teams that were ready to bring their technologies into the future. A lot of these dot-com bubble victims were just literally pages of nothing. Nothing. Literally, there was nothing there. So you got to go onto the pages of these websites that you're investing in, read the white paper, learn the team, make sure the people that you're going to be working with and doing business with are actually working on their projects. Go to their GitHub, and we got to become the research-based analysts that we need to be in order to be fully functioning and surviving and comfortable in this environment. So on that note, I really do hope you guys all have a blessed day. Please do comment down below if you guys have anything to add to this conversation. And again, to all of my new subscribers and to all the commenters, I really do appreciate the interaction, communication, action, forced. We must bring this to the people, okay? Thank you guys very much, and I'll see you in the next episode.